Wow, that's really great experience, I have to say. So let's move on to TelOne.
Yeah.
TelOne is a household name in the country's telecoms.
Yes.
So I'm interested in hearing your experience.
My experience at TelOne.
Yeah.
Okay, so I went to TelOne Centre for Learning in 2019. I was doing a program that was supposed to take me 3 years to finish, but I ended up doing 5 years to finish that program, actually.
Really?
Yeah. So the experience now, okay, I just want to go gaga because I can go the whole day talking about the experience that I got there. But what I really learned was traditional education system doesn't work under our current pretext. We need those unconventional education systems. Because let me give you an interesting fact. I did software engineering, right? Software engineering requires you to do a whole bunch of programming languages, right? And then some of them enterprise application development, developing, software tools that can be used at a larger scale, like say a chatbot that can be used by 1 million people, right? So, but then at TelOne, the one flaw that I noticed was we would write code on paper.
Isn't code supposed to be typed on the
computer? You're supposed to have your emulator or your coding tool, and then you are writing your code, and then you can see if it's right, can it run or can it not run. So now under this context was the lecturer would give you a question, right? Write a code that does this, right? And then they would mark it on paper. So you'd find that the code that my lecturer marked on paper, when I try to run it on the machine now, it will not run. It's full of bugs. So the learning process was tedious and it was strenuous. But then during that time, now I told you that it took me 5 years to finish that program. One of the other challenges that I faced was that I had to defer for a year that was supposed to go for attachment because I couldn't find any company that would hire me for attachment. Because they were like, we don't know how to warn whatever, how to give you the experience that you need because we don't have that here. And then you'd find that the very few companies that are doing this, that are doing software, maybe software development, right? There are very few companies and usually they don't have capacity. So it was strenuous and I had to defer for a whole year. But during that year that I deferred, I identified an informal education system that I started following. So there's ALX Africa. It's an institution, right? Basically, there are also ALU based in Kenya, Africa Leadership Academy. It's Africa Leadership University. Sorry. So ALX is like their online branch.
ALX, that's LAX.
LX.
Okay.
Yeah, ALX Africa. So they've got really cool courses that they offer on ALX Africa. You can go, if you go online, alxafrica.com. I identified them through a friend. A friend introduced me to them and they were like, you know what, check this out. You can never know, find something to do while you're on your sabbatical. I like to call it my sabbatical, right? And then, so I'm checking them out. That was just at the onset of AI now. That was around, I think it was not necessarily the onset, but that's when AI was starting to heighten in the media. People were, this AI, this whatnot. And then I saw this very interesting course that they had. It was called Artificial Intelligence Career Essentials. So basically they would teach you about AI, what it means, where it is coming from, right? Not necessarily how to build an AI engine, right? Or a large language model, but just to show you what it is, right? And then, and then you'd learn about that, and then you learn some AI tools. I learned a whole bunch of AI tools that are enterprise now, like Salesforce, Notion AI, Canva now is now really big, but I did it back then. I even learned how to create a website using Canva. It was pretty interesting.
Okay.
A whole bunch of these, even your chat GPTs, how to prompt. That's also how I learned prompt engineering. I'm actually a really good prompt engineer. And then, so ALX, so they taught me this. So they've got an interesting system that they use, which is very unconventional. So say the program that I was doing, that one, AI Career Essentials, it was basically 30 hours per week that I had to dedicate to that program. So the whole thing, I'll do it online, whether on my phone or on my laptop. They've got this nice platform that you would log into. They keep record of all the tests that you've done, all the books that you've read, all the course content that you've gone through. And then you can even take it in a dashboard. It was really cool. Like, you're gaming, but you're what? You're learning, you see. And I was like, wow, imagine if children are introduced to this at a very early stage, right? And then even the way it was training me to learn. That's where I got this ability. I started getting this curiosity, this affinity to learn through that system. So I would dedicate, say it's 30 hours the whole week that I'm supposed to dedicate to this program, right? And then the program is a 6 months program, right? So imagine for the next 6 months, I'm supposed to dedicate 30 hours per week of my time to that program. At first, it was hard. And then I was like, but I know these things, they're actually easy because they would give you videos to watch, TED Talks and all that. And then, some interactive sessions. And then you would actually, one of the cool aspects of ALX is that you get to meet people from all over Africa.
Wow.
And then you would be put into the teams, right? And then you would work on these really cool projects. Like, usually their projects, they're aligned with the SDG goals, so the UN Sustainable Development Goals, right? And then what they do now, something interesting that they do, is they let you identify your purpose. They let you identify your passion through that system. So you'd find that the SDG goals, right? You know them, the UN Sustainable Development Goals, right? There's eradicating poverty, there's clean water to the people, there's climate justice, all those things. So these are like major global issues right now. That if everyone just picks one within, I think there's 17 now or so. If everyone just picks one that they want to dedicate themselves to, they say the world will be a different place.
So it sounds like you gained more from your course at ALX Africa than you did at TelOne.
Exactly.
So TelOne can actually learn something from ALX.
Exactly. So now imagine I was doing all this at ALX, right? And then after the 6 months, they'll give you, like, you actually do an online coordination program, and then you get your certificates emailed and all that, right? Then you're accredited into their system. They've got, this platform where you can even link with Silicon Valley experts. Then you can even indulge in conversation. Even up to now, I'm in some communities with all these people from all over Africa. Imagine.
So what you're saying, basically in a nutshell, is that when it comes to education, the design is important.
Yes, it's very important.
Because with our traditional academic institutions, they use outdated designs.
Exactly.
So with ALX Africa, you learned that there are better educational designs that can actually make education more exciting and engaging.
Exactly.
At a short period of time.
At a shorter period of time. Imagine, because I was doing a course I was supposed to do for 3 years, ended up doing for 5 years. And then within those 5 years, I didn't only do that artificial intelligence Career Essentials. I did professional foundations. They've got this course I call professional foundations. That's the one I was talking about, that helps you identify your niche, what you're here, your purpose, so that you can be undisputed, right?
I think our universities in Zimbabwe should have a look at these platforms.
They should definitely do that. Yes. You know what? By the time I finished, because I did like 4 courses at ALX now, I also did data analytics with them. So after that, I'm going back to college, right? I finally got a place I finally got to do attachment and going back to college. I was a different person. The way I approached, problem solving was different. And even the moral aspect, because it's human-centered design. That's what we need to do. This whole capitalist bullshit, it's not human-centered. That's why we have all these problems with pollution, climate change and all that, because people are not bringing solutions that are human-centered.
People just want to make
money.
Okay, that's fine.